If you're thinking about moving to Birmingham and you want something more walkable, closer to everything, and a little more social, Highland Park is probably already on your radar. But here's the reality. A lot of people move here for the lifestyle and then they realize there's a few trade-offs they didn't fully think through. So in this video, I'm breaking down 7 things that you need to know before living in Highland Park, Alabama. And a couple of these will definitely catch you off guard. I'm Zach, your friend in real estate right here in the Birmingham Metro, and my team and I help a lot of relocation buyers figure out where they actually fit, not just what looks good online. So let's dive in. First up, we have location and everyday convenience. Highland Park sits just a couple miles from downtown Birmingham, and this is one of its biggest advantages. You're typically 5 to 10 minutes away from downtown, 5 to 10 minutes away from UAB, right next to 5 Point South and Lakeview. And compared to suburbs like Helena, Alabaster, Pelham, Trussville, where you're driving 25 to 40 minutes for most things, here your daily life stays pretty centralized. And that convenience starts to impact more than just your commute. It changes how you actually live day to day. All right, number 2, walkability and lifestyle. This is where Highland Park really starts to separate itself. You can actually walk to coffee shops like O'Henry's, restaurants like Rojo and Bottega, Pizza at Slice, parks, bars, and local spots. You'll consistently see people walking dogs, running, or even meeting up with friends. So it's a much more active and social environment compared to most areas around Birmingham. But once you really start looking at homes here, that's where things feel a little different. All right, moving on to number 3, home prices and what you can actually get. Now, we're gonna talk about pricing because this is where a lot of people get caught off guard. In Highland Park, median home prices are typically sitting in the mid 300,000s depending on the property type and condition. And that number can easily swing quite a bit depending on whether you're looking at a condo versus a single family home. And then when you break that down even further, you're typically around $240 plus per square foot. Now, compare that to nearby areas like Vestavia Hills, which is closer to $200 per square foot, Pelham, Helena, Alabaster, which is typically even lower. So here's the reality. You're paying more per square foot and getting less space. So for the same price in Pelham or Helena, you get around 2,500 square foot house. In Highland Park, you're probably getting a condo or a smaller home. And this is the shift that you're not buying square footage here, you're buying location, walkability, lifestyle. And you would think that would push people away from this area, but it actually does the opposite. And here's why. Number 4, character, layout, and overall feel. Most of the homes here were built in the early 1900s. So you'll see a lot of brick construction, front porches, and floor plans that aren't all copy and paste. And because this area sits along Red Mountain, you don't get that flat uniform streets. You'll notice elevation changes, homes sitting higher or lower off the road, and a lot more variation from one block to the next. So 2 homes at the same price point can feel completely different depending on the street, the condition, and how the property's been updated over time. And that's why this is one of those areas where you really have to see it in person to understand what you're getting. And it's not just the homes, I mean the outdoor setup here plays a big role too. And that brings us to 5, parks and outdoor living. So for how close you are to downtown, there's actually a lot of outdoor space here. You've got Caldwell Park, Rhodes Park, Rushton Park, and you'll consistently see people walking, running, and spending time outside. So it's not just about being close to things, you actually get to use the area around you. And if you're big into golf, this area is home to the oldest golf course in Alabama, Highland Park Golf Course. But by far, the biggest factor in whether this area works for you comes down to who typically lives here. Number 6, who this area is really for. So Highland Park tends to attract young professionals, medical professionals working at UAB or other hospitals downtown, and people who just want to stay close to downtown and enjoy that nightlife. It's a very easy place to stay connected socially, but on the flip side, if you're looking for larger homes, more privacy, quieter surroundings, this might not be the best long-term fit. And as far as the schools and what buyers should know compared to other areas like Vestavia Hills or Hoover, where a lot of buyers are specifically targeting school zones, Highland Park tends to attract buyers who are prioritizing location and lifestyle first. This is where things can look a little different compared to a lot of the surrounding suburbs. This area is zoned for Birmingham City Schools, which serves the downtown area. And depending on the exact address, some commonly referenced schools in this area are Avondale Elementary and Robert E. Lee High School. Now overall, school ratings in this area can vary depending on the source, and many tend to fall somewhere in that mid-range. And if schools are a big factor for you, this is one of those areas where you'll want to verify zoning based on the exact property, look at third-party sites like Great Schools or Niche.com. And this is where I want to be real with you because this is what most people don't hear up front. Number 7, the trade-offs most people don't expect. So there's a few things to be aware of here. Parking can be tight depending on the property, higher renter presence in certain areas, smaller homes and less storage, and like most urban areas, your experience can vary depending on the exact location. None of these are specifically deal breakers, but they are things that you want to go into into with clear expectations. So Highland Park really comes down to this question: do you want space or do you want convenience and lifestyle? Because if walkability, proximity to downtown, and a more social environment are high on your list, this is one of the strongest options in the Birmingham area. But if you're looking for more room, quieter surroundings, or a more traditional setup, there's definitely better fits out there for you. So if you're thinking about moving to Birmingham and you want help figuring out where you actually fit best, my team and I would love to help. Call or text the number that's on the screen, or you can schedule a call in the link in the description. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe below. I've got a lot more videos breaking down different areas around Birmingham so you can make the right decision before you move. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.